If you work hard but feel like nothing really flows, if you achieve things but struggle to sustain them, if you notice that you live more in fear of losing than in confidence of building, then maybe you haven't truly understood what prosperity is yet. And that realization can change everything for you. Let me name what you might be feeling right now. Frustration. The frustration of watching other people move forward while you feel like you're always running, always stretched thin, always just surviving. Quiet envy. That silent ache when you see someone achieving what you want and, instead of celebrating, you feel it confirms a fear you rarely admit. Maybe you're not capable. Exhaustion. Not just physical tiredness, but emotional exhaustion. The fatigue of trying so hard, working so much, giving so much, and still feeling stuck in the same place, repeating the same patterns. And doubt, deep doubt about whether prosperity is really meant for you, whether you deserve it, whether this kind of life is yours or something reserved for other people. If this resonates with you, pause for a moment. You are not lazy, you are not unlucky, you are not born without opportunity. You simply haven't learned how to embody prosperity yet. And prosperity is not about money, it's about your internal state. There are very clear signs when someone is truly living in a prosperous state. And no, it has nothing to do with money, luxury displays, or impressive speeches. The higher your level of awareness becomes, the easier it is to recognize who is emotionally mature and who is still trapped in scarcity patterns. Truly prosperous people don't announce that they are prosperous. They don't need to. You can feel it. You see it in their posture, in how they make decisions, in how they respond to challenges, in how they position themselves in the world. Prosperity is not a bank balance, it's an inner condition. It's sustained growth, it's identity, and this has nothing to do with pretending everything is fine or forcing positive thinking. This is about real emotional maturity. A woman who vibrates prosperity no longer lives in reaction mode, she lives in creation mode. While someone with low emotional awareness waits for life to hit them before acting, the prosperous woman anticipates. She thinks ahead, she decides with clarity. She builds with intention. When something goes wrong, she doesn't emotionally collapse. She doesn't immediately place herself in the role of victim, she doesn't dramatize her pain. She observes, she learns, she recalibrates. She understands that crises are not punishments, they are invitations to maturity. That doesn't mean she doesn't feel, it means she doesn't get lost inside what she feels. Psychology explains this very clearly. A scarcity mindset keeps the brain in survival mode. The nervous system stays on high alert, constantly scanning for threats, interpreting every obstacle as proof that this won't work. A prosperity mindset activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, long-term vision, and emotional regulation. Prosperous people don't deny problems. They simply don't allow problems to define their direction. One of the greatest forms of prosperity is learning how to lead your own energy. It's choosing every single day the version of yourself that sustains growth, not the one that self-sabotages. She does not emotionally destroy herself. She doesn't constantly say, "This is too much. For me, I don't deserve this. This kind of life isn't for people like me." Instead, she takes responsibility, she expands. She may not be where she wants to be yet, but she knows exactly where she's going. Her inner dialogue sounds more like, "I haven't reached it yet, but I'm closer than before. I'm building, this reality can also be mine." Prosperity begins with how you perceive yourself, not with how you count money. That's why so many people have financial resources and still live in deep emotional scarcity. They have money, but live in fear of losing it. They achieve things, but can't celebrate. They receive recognition, but never feel enough. And at the same time, there are people who are still building yet already vibrate clarity, abundance, and inner stability. Because prosperity is not what you have, it's who you are becoming. Another clear sign of emotional prosperity is that this woman facilitates instead of blocks. While someone stuck in scarcity complains, compares, doubts, and competes constantly, the prosperous woman celebrates. She recognizes, she opens space, she doesn't see someone else's success as a threat. She understands that the world is abundant and that someone else's victory does not diminish her own. Scarcity competes, prosperity cooperates, scarcity distrusts. Prosperity trusts, scarcity compares, prosperity builds. A woman who vibrates prosperity doesn't carry small energy. She doesn't need to diminish anyone to feel powerful. She understands that growth isn't about stepping on others, it's about rising without losing integrity. Prosperity doesn't beg, it doesn't justify itself. It doesn't explain, it attracts. Prosperity is also about how you relate to time. People trapped in scarcity live in constant urgency. Everything needs to happen now, results must be immediate. When things don't happen on their timeline, they quit. They label it failure, they decide this isn't for me. A prosperous woman understands that real growth is slow, consistent, and cumulative. She plants today knowing the harvest will come. She invests in herself, even when no one is watching. She builds quietly because she knows sustainable results take time. She doesn't quit at the first obstacle, she doesn't abandon the path after the first no. She doesn't sabotage herself when things move slower than expected. Because she understands something fundamental, prosperity is not luck. It is emotional discipline. Emotional discipline is continuing when emotions tell you to stop. It's choosing consistency over impulse. It's honoring the long-term vision when short-term comfort feels tempting. This is not rigidity. This is maturity. Another powerful sign of prosperity is that she sustains what she builds. While someone in scarcity achieves and then destroys, grows and then regresses, builds and then abandons, the prosperous woman protects what she creates. She honors the process. She respects her own journey because often the problem isn't achieving, it's sustaining. Many women know how to start, but not how to maintain. They know how to create, but not how to preserve. They know how to achieve, but not how to care for what they've achieved. True prosperity requires breaking that cycle. It requires asking uncomfortable questions like, why do I always destroy what I build? Where does this need to sabotage my own growth come from? What part of me doesn't believe I deserve to sustain this? These questions are uncomfortable, but necessary because prosperity doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you become the woman capable of holding it. Prosperous women are clear about their values. They don't live to impress. They don't make decisions based on external approval. They don't build lives that don't fit them just because everyone else is doing it. They know what matters. They know what they want. They know what they won't negotiate. Prosperity is selective. Scarcity is desperate. Prosperity chooses. Scarcity accepts anything. Prosperity builds with intention. Scarcity accumulates without purpose, and perhaps the deepest sign of prosperity is this: she's not afraid to restart. She doesn't cling to paths that no longer make sense. She doesn't stay in places she has outgrown. She doesn't remain stuck just because she already invested time. She understands that starting over is not failure, it's redirection. While scarcity clings out of fear, prosperity trusts its ability to rebuild as many times as necessary. Because prosperity isn't in things, it's in her. If you are seeking this level of prosperity, not just financial, but emotional, mental, and energetic, maybe the first step is not doing more. Maybe it's becoming more aware, more responsible, more whole, more aligned. Because prosperity is not luck, it is consequence. The consequence of who you choose to be every day, of how you think, how you react, how you decide, how you treat yourself. If this video spoke to you, comment below, I deserve prosperity, not as an empty affirmation, but as a real commitment to the woman you are becoming. And remember, prosperity is not what you have. It's who you are becoming. You are more capable than you imagine.